now, waiting for that big set, and this is where the jockeying goes around. We can see Sarah Taylor, Mattea Olin, and Hannah Scott all sitting pretty close to each other, where Amelia O'Connor's sitting a little bit onto the outside. I wonder how that's going to play in the game. If I was her, I'd be right in that mix, that pack, making them work for the scores that they're going to get them.
Yeah, you can see on your screen there, Sarah Taylor, surfing yellow, kind of sticking by Mattea, knowing you can't really give her up too much room because she's pretty deadly when she's out by herself, and she has tons of knowledge out here at Cox Bay, and this kind of being her home break, that's very smart maneuvering from Sarah Taylor. Stick beside Mattea and kind of get in her head, and try to pick off those set waves so Mattea can't take advantage of those things.
Here we go.
There's Hannah Scott popping up on a wave, ends up losing it there. I think it's a really good, smart move for Sarah Taylor and Hannah Scott to sit on Mattea. I think they must all have gone through their head, like, do I want to lose this final to a 13-year-old? Yes, she's talented. Yes, she has an amazing skill at surfing, but she is only 13, and these are full-grown women that she's going against. That's a hard one to go to sleep at the end of the night, knowing that you lost to someone that is that much better than you, but that much younger.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit humbling, when you're out in the water with someone half your age and they're surfing circles around you, but. I mean, to be expected. This is her hometown, Mattea. She lives, a 5-second walk from the beach. She pretty much lives and breathes. I'm surprised she doesn't have gills.
Yeah, she might be an amphibian.
Exactly, and so, pretty much putting in, 2 shifts a day in the water, while juggling school. And, it's pretty amazing to see the level of surfing that Mattea has kind of brought her game. But we have a beautiful set approaching here. See who's going to capitalize on this.
Well, it's going to be Mattea, and she's going to option not to go left, but to go right, where the rest of the team could have dropped in on that, but decided against it. Luckily for them, nothing really came about.
I think Sarah might have been thinking that Mattea was going to go left on that wave, but Mattea with a bit of a poor wave choice on the wave selection on that one, choosing to go right instead of left. That right definitely turned into a big closeout. But maybe a little bit of mind games going out there. This is the finals. There's $2,000 on the line here, Alan, and that's a pretty nice cash prize for winning this contest.
Absolutely, we can see Mattea Olin paddling north at the beach, and the whole lineup is deciding what is she seeing that we don't. We're gonna follow it. Sarah Taylor in yellow jersey I don't think she's gonna go all the way down and chase her, waste the time. I think she's going to stick exactly where she was. She got a really good wave right off the bat in that spot where, this could be a really good game plan for Mattea Olin to trick the lineup in thinking that they're in the wrong spot.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, we definitely have been seeing waves roll through kind of where Sarah Taylor's sitting there, but Mattea is kind of playing a little bit of a mind game here. She's dragging all of the competitors up to the north end of the beach here, but this may have played into her favor here. Look at this beautiful set approaching.
Out of nowhere.
Mattea just kind of with a bit of a sixth sense there, understanding where the waves are coming from, and this may pay off because she's positioned herself in a pretty good position. But see, she get around this section here, and Mattea being able to stick with that just shows the power and the control that she has in her surfing and turning it into a beautiful wave here.
Wow, that's smart. That was a really cool idea for her to do that kind of takeoff. Surf that very, very well. Unfortunately, was able to get it early enough. But here's Sarah Taylor looking like she might be able to get this left. Unfortunately, it doesn't double up on her for her.
Yeah, it was a beautiful wave from Mattea. Maybe got a little bit lucky there. She paddled up the beach there while the ocean went flat. And, the surf gods just sending something her way. And that may increase her scoreline. We're still waiting for scores to drop.
Some of the fastest internet speeds in North America, and they're right here, right to the beach.
But she's definitely looking. She has her second wave. She's looking to improve on a 4.13. I may think that might help her scoreline there. Sarah Taylor sitting on a pair of sixes. She has a 6.17 and a 6.07. So we'll see how that last wave for Mattea unfolds. But Mattea chomping at the bit there.
Well, in the beginning of the heat, I was thinking that maybe the veteran surfers were going to be playing a little more mind tricks on Mattea, but it looks like Mattea's learned a thing or two across ocean, and playing some mind tricks on them.
Yeah, Matea, we just got some scores that dropped. Matea's second wave there. She just posted a 5.47, so not enough to move into first. She's currently in second place. She's needing a 5.84 to move into first. So the judges not awarding her that score she needed. Gonna have to work a little bit harder, but getting a 5.84. She's got the skill and the smarts.
Here comes
to
a double
able
up
to
for
post
Sarah.
a wave score there. Yeah, here's Sarah Taylor in her backhand. Beautiful
Nice
surfing off the top there. Really,
There you go. That's going to
Probably
give her some points.
linking one of the best turns we've seen all contests long there on that backhand cut back.
It's pretty surprising so far. We are, almost halfway through the heat. We haven't really seen much of Hannah Scott. I wonder if she's really starting to feel the pressure right now.
Yeah, your defending champion, Hannah Scott. Fortunately, she's sitting pretty quiet here. She only has a pair of twos. She's a 2.77 and a 2.33. She's in need of a 9.48, so she's currently been comboed by both Matea and Sarah Taylor. So Hannah definitely needing to get a little busier out there. And I definitely like how Sarah Taylor and Matea, that's the rather reason they're 1 and 2 right now is their wave selection, and they're staying busy. They're catching waves and getting comfortable and shaking off the cobwebs, and it's showing right now in their scoreline.
Oh, it sure is there, Dino. Hannah Scott, we know that she can come out of nowhere and do big maneuvers, as she did last year to win the competition with that massive backside air. The waves really aren't offering much in that world, so if someone was to get their fins out of that water and into the air, the judges are going to throw a big score at that.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too many waves to offer any airs, but yeah, if someone was able to link some pretty good maneuvers there and link an air. So here's Sarah Taylor's last wave of yellow there on the screen. I love that little tap off the top there, having enough speed and linking this big cut back right to that foam section there, and then kicking out the back there, showing tons of control. So Sarah Taylor coming out strong right now and surfing with lots of authority, making it really tough for Matea. Definitely Matea being one of the favorites to win this. Sarah Taylor making it look pretty hard, and it's becoming a familiar scene there, Alan. All those surfers coming up from California and giving it to the locals here, and we've seen that with the Ripcrow Pro 2 years in a row. Likes of Kevin Schultz taking out Peter DeVries last year in the final, and then the year before that, Noah Waggy Wegrich from California as well, taking down Pete DeVries in the final. So a bit of a recurring theme we see here right now. Those California kids are coming up here, and
we need to start going down there. So it needs to start to happen.
Yeah,
let's jump in the truck and go for a nice little surf trip down in California.
Yeah, it may seem far, but it's awfully close. Once you hit Vancouver, you can drive all day and hit Northern California. You
get a nice sunset session in.
But it's definitely being raised down in California. That surf culture is just so massive and so old, and it's definitely a pretty hyped thing to be a surfer down there, and it's definitely a lot easier, having this pretty quality waves and consistent waves all year round, and also the temperature definitely plays a factor in that as well.
Oh, you're absolutely right there, Dino. The other thing too is that because it's such a staple in their culture, in their community, that there's school programs, there's after-school programs, there's all these things that Tofino is just a little bit behind on in the surf world. There's lots of companies that put the time and effort into helping the youth get out in the water, but surprisingly enough, there isn't as many youth in the water surfing as you might think, because it's just so accessible.
Yeah, so here we have surfing right up and right now. It's Matea Olin. A couple of beautiful turns there. Unfortunately, just got a little caught on that inside there and fell. Hopefully that doesn't mess her up too much, because she had a couple of beautiful turns there. So we have Sarah Taylor here looking at this wave on her forehand. A beautiful looking left here. Nice little foam climb there, a little spray off the top. She's got a nice little inside section to work with, Alan.
Wrapping it around.
Beautiful.
That KS board is looking absolutely awesome under her feet. She's making me wonder, does Kelly Slater have something that we don't know?
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice if you could buy any certain equipment that, with someone's pro model, you can surf just like them. But, Sarah Taylor definitely looking very comfortable on that Kelly Slater design board. Could be that little secret that she had up her sleeve I've had a lot of feedback from lots of friends that have surfed and purchased that board or his boards, and definitely super confident. But I mean, we'll see. Sarah Taylor, you know, it's not just the board, it's also just her surf knowledge here. So here on the replay here, we have Mattea Olin on her backhand. Man, that one turn there sticks out for me. Fortunately, she couldn't ride out of it, but that one turn, she tossed tons of spray. And then we have Sarah Taylor here hitting the top there, and then having a nice, beautiful open section here, and really burying her rail on this one turn.
She's got to stay patient.
Throwing tons of spray. And, you know, unfortunately got a little caught in that foam ball, but still looking very comfortable on her board.
So just past halfway mark here. It's still a pretty tight. You know, no one's run away with it. No 10s have been dropped just yet. Sarah Taylor, though, has that backside hack on lockdown. You know, here comes Amelia O'Connor hitting it around, getting ready for this finished little schwappo. Unfortunately, it's just not to the caliber that the rest of the team is doing. It's a pretty tight pack out there.
Yeah, and that's what that's the difference we're seeing right now. And as the top two surfers are starting to kind of pull ahead, we see kind of approaching here there, Alan. And
looks like Mattea's going to have the zone.
A little bit of a paddle battle, but Mattea in a beautiful position here with a nice open face. If she can link anything together, as that first turn was pretty nice. That second turn, pretty awesome. See if she can finish it off there. Nice little tap. I'm not sure if that's going to really factor into her scoreline. You know, nothing really that critical on that wave there that she's used to doing. But, you know, we're not a judge. But her earlier waves that she posted were definitely, I think, a little bit better than that one.
If you want to win in the finals of the Queen of the Peaks shortboard competition, you have to do something that shows a statement to the judges, not only on one wave, but most likely on two. And that's what Hannah Scott did last year with busting that big air. Unfortunately, conditions aren't really there, so we're going to have to see some great rail work and the picking of a wave.
Yeah, we see last year's champ, Hannah Scott, in a perfect position for this wave here. Unfortunately, just a little bit too deep on this one. And it's kind of, you know, Hannah's been a little quiet in this heat, but you never can count her out. You know, she's got a couple pairs of twos that she can easily drop, you know, in the drop of a hat. But yeah, you definitely need to get to those certain waves that will give you that scoring potential. And it's definitely a bit of a peak chasing game at the moment here. You see Sarah Taylor having a beautiful look at this right, and she's in perfect position.
This right is really streaming on through. You know, as the tide comes even higher, that's just streaming in. And, you know, if I was anyone else, get to that peak, be on top of that, so that if they can get a good pop-up off the exchange, they can really whap it in there to finish it off and get a big score.
Yeah, I know Sarah Taylor sitting on a pair of sixes right there in her scoreline. She's currently in first. But, yeah, that last wave she got, I liked her wave choice there. She's definitely staying busy, you know, paddling to the north end of the beach and south end of the beach. And usually when everything's kind of going your way, you know, those waves kind of find you with little ease. So maybe a little bit of luck on her side at the moment, because she's been picking off some of those set waves that have been producing for her.
You know, and then talking about paddling around, here we go. Mattea Olin paddling from the north end of the beach to the south end, back to the north end, back to the south end, making people wonder, where should I be? It looks like the pack is kind of following her, but I think they are, you know, Amelia O'Connor, I don't know if you can see on the screen there, well, we're just having a little bit of a look at Sanoa.
That's your princess of the peak champion, Sanoa Olin. But yeah, there's her sister, Mattea. Oh, well, she got a little caught on that way, but that was a pretty critical turn there, Alan. We got Hannah Scott. This is past year's champion on the inside. Unfortunately, not really having a wave that's producing for her. You got to think she's getting a little bit frustrated out there with her wave selection.
I think there's the wheels are cranky in her head, wondering, why am I not catching the waves? Why am I not surfing at the ability that I know I can? I've got the stage. The waves are there. She can see that her competitors are surfing really well. And with that only 5 minutes left, she's got to do something quick here.
Yeah, she did better her scoreline there, but she only posted a 3.47. She's in need of a 9.38 to move into first, so she's got a bit of a hill to climb here to get into the first spot. And Yeah, currently it's in third place. Surfer in blue, Amelia O'Connor. She's sitting with a 3.37 and a backup of 3.17. So she's in need of a 9.48 to move into first place. And currently in second, surfer in red, that's Matea Olin. She has a 6.40 and a 5.47, a combined heat total score of 11.87. She's in need of a 6.44. And definitely with the skills and the competition experience that Matea has, she's definitely able to achieve that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people paddling around trying to figure out where they want to catch their next best wave, because there might only be time for 1 to 2 more good waves left. And with that means, the coming of the close, and we're going to crown the Queen of the Peak. The moment we've actually all been waiting for, the big prize money, 2,000 buckaroons on the line, coming on down. And we've been talking about where would we spend that money. If you did get that money, it is tradition, very Australian tradition, to spend at least 10% of that money on the night out. So, I'm excited to see who's going to take this down and if we're going to get to see any kickback our way.
Yeah, I definitely know whoever's going to place first in this event. I definitely know who I'm going to be hanging out close to tonight. I'll hopefully get a little bit of that 10%. But then pretty excited to see where this, how this official after party is going to go at the Tofino Legion. It's great to see the Legion open again and having shows there. It's a beautiful venue and a pretty awesome place to throw an after party.
Yeah, I did go to a show at the Legion the other day, earlier on in the summer as the sun was setting, and I kid you not, just as Roy's bag was just about to play, orcas swam up the inlet and you got to see them, which is pretty insane to be inside, getting a really good view of the band you go to see, and then lo and behold, outside, great sunset, orcas swimming on by.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome area we live in there, Alan. It's, wildlife is pretty much everywhere. You go outside and you probably count 10 or 15 eagles flying around, feeding in the harbors. There's orcas swimming by in the harbor. Yesterday we saw a couple of gray whales or humpback whales out on the horizon coming to join us. We saw a couple fish jump across the camera, a little photo bomb from a couple fish.
That was awesome.
So it's definitely a pretty remarkable place to live, and that's your surfer in white. That's your defending champion. That's Hannah Scott, trying to stay a little busier, but we have a pretty nice set approaching here. Sarah Taylor looking at a beautiful left, and it's going to stand up for her, Alan, and this is going to be looking like a pretty good wave for her.
Let's see if she can get something off the top before it closes out on her. That's not a bad little finish for her, but don't think that's going to be enough to improve her score here. But
yeah, I know. She's sitting on a pair of sixes. Unfortunately, that wave did kind of have a bit of a double up in the face, and it didn't really provide any scoring opportunity for her. But definitely using her surf knowledge to her advantage and finishing that wave with a nice maneuver. She'll definitely get a little score, but I don't think it's going to improve her score line.
No, I think she's a little bit nervous. Sarah Taylor, being that far away from the second place surfer, I think I'd be right alongside her, making sure that she wasn't able to catch a good wave, or at least not a good wave out from underneath. There's only a little bit of time left. Sarah Taylor, the only one to stay on the north end of the beach. We want something to show up.
Yeah, exactly. With only 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in this women's shortboard final, you got to be feeling the pressure here. There's $2,000 on the line. I mean, Sarah Taylor is sitting in first. Not far behind, there's Matea Olin. She's currently in second. She has a combined heat total score of 11.87. She needs a 6.44 with a minute remaining to move into first. So it's pretty exciting times here down at the beach, Alan. It's we'll see if this ocean is going to waken up for these for Matea here. She's got a beautiful looking right. With one maneuver, I don't think she's going to get that 6.44 that she needs.
Well, she gave it her all.
But definitely doing whatever she can on that wave to, try to get a good score on the board. But
there you go, Amelia O'Connor up on her wave, gets a nice little turn in there, stays with it, following it down. Maybe you get one more in there. All right, finished it off.
Yeah, Amelia O'Connor staying busy. It's a bit unfortunate for Hannah Scott and Amelia O'Connor. The waves just weren't really coming to them today, and definitely the wave selection. Hannah Scott there, showing a little bit of frustration there, probably doing a bit of a closeout, and she's definitely going to be disappointed with her showing today.
And here we go. This marks the end of the final. Queen of the Peak. Unofficially, it looks like Sailor Taylor will be taking home the crown.
Yeah, still waiting for some scores to drop here, but looks like we got some heat results here. We'll relay them to you in just a second here. We're waiting for a couple of scores to drop from the judges, but I mean, currently in first place, Sarah Taylor there. Matea just got her last wave there. We're still waiting for a score to drop on that one. But yeah, what a nail biter right down to the end.
Well, it sure was. Sailor Taylor right from the get-go, though, showing that she's got that California flair, and she's not going to let anyone especially a 13-year-old, come up from behind her. But good job on Matea. She showcased a lot of great stuff. She did a lot of really good turns. She definitely deserves that second place position. Into next year, who knows where she could be? She could be maybe winning it and all of it next year. She already got the longboard.
Yeah, so sorry to butt in there, Alan, but we have official results in. So currently in fourth place with a combined score of 6.67. That's Amelia O'Connor wearing blue. So in third place we have wearing white. That's your defending champion, Hannah Scott. Unfortunately not going to repeat. She has a combined heat total score of 7.40. And in second place, just narrowly being beat, surfer in red, Matea Olin. She combined score of 11.87, and taking that, and your new 2016 Queen of the Peak Women's Surfing Champion, Sarah Taylor.
Well, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, getting to see Sarah Taylor getting chaired up all the way to the beach towards the podium, where we will crown our queens and our princesses. She had that beautiful KS board under her feet. We all thought maybe someone with a aft tennis board was going to take it home, but Sailor Taylor just really showing that, she's here to play and she's here to stay.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable surfing from Sarah Taylor all event long. I mean, there's a reason why she is your champion. You saw that pretty clearly in the final here, posting some pretty great scores with the conditions that we had on offer, and making it look easy. And there's no reason why she shouldn't be the champion. I know Matea there showing a little bit of support there. Unfortunately, she's probably going to be a little disappointed with her result, but looking very comfortable. And yeah, a great turnout from all the ladies there in the finals. So it was great to see Sarah Taylor come out there and really put on a bit of a clinic out there. It was definitely pretty close between Matea and Sarah Taylor on a few of those waves and a few of the exchanges. But I think, what really came into effect there, Alan, was just the power that Sarah had compared to the power of Matea.
There is no doubt in my mind that you are 100% right there, Dino. Sarah Taylor's power was second to none, and that's why she's got shared up all the way to the beach. And is going to be crowned the Queen of the Peak Shortboard 2016 7th annual. Looks like it's going to be a bright year for us already. I'm sure Chrissy's already thinking about how can she do it next year even better and better and better. But unbelievable, all the smiling faces. They're just happy that it's over and they can just relax and not worry about that pressure now that all the judging's been done.
Yeah, Sarah Taylor coming all the way from California. Definitely probably pretty stoked at the moment. Just won a nice cash prize of $2,000. Looking in form all contests long. She was definitely separating herself from the pack, putting on some pretty big scores and making it look pretty easy out there. But just a sign of appreciation and friendship down on the beach there. All the finalists hanging out together, waiting for the podium to get put together for them so we can call them up. But all contests long, all weekend long, those four surfers there deserved a spot in this final, and it definitely did not deliver any bad results. Unfortunately for Hannah Scott, not able to repeat like last year, but she's definitely going to be heading back to the drawing board and trying to figure out what went wrong and how she can improve on her result.
I think a big thing for Hannah Scott right now is that she spent the whole summer fighting fires instead of surfing. She wasn't in the water every single day like the rest of the girls here on the team. She was out in the forest doing what she was wanting to do to make some bucks, to help her, keep her so she can go on these great surf trips. She's not a full sponsored surfer. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome to see, you know, the caliber of surfing that Hannah has developed over the years, and you know, even taking the summer off and fighting fires all summer long, and then coming back here and still making it to the finals. Unfortunately, only getting it into third place. It's definitely not a bad result, but it's definitely you know, not one of the best ones that she kind of would want to have. But still, yeah, it's pretty amazing to see her, you know, still make a final and after fighting fires all summer long.
that's a huge feat. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's nice to see the sisterly love between Sanoa and Matea, both working really hard to progress the surfing in any sort of way they possibly can. You know, if you can see on your screen, Matea's like half the size of these ladies here, full-grown women and a 13-year-old. So Matea, you know, cannot go home with her head down, feeling bummed that she didn't do as well as she could have. She did a great job, and I'm really excited to see what she's going to get to do over the next couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. She's definitely going to be an exciting surfer to watch for years to come. You know, sitting at 13 years old, making it to the final and placing second in the shortboard category. It's pretty amazing, and also placing first in the longboard category there, Alan. It's pretty amazing. You know, she's coming off a fourth place finish from last year in the women's shortboard, so she's definitely probably feeling pretty stoked. I mean, the difference between first and second was, you know, by a point, so she wasn't far off from first. But yeah, you know, as Matea grows into her you know, her surfing abilities and develops a bit more power behind her surfing, she's going to be a definite force to be reckoned with. It's going to be pretty scary in a couple of years.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I already see her in the corner when the waves are firing. It just is really, really hard to compete with her. She knows these waves really well. And just as every day that she's in the water, every hour she spends on that wave, she's killing it. You can hear the crowd just cheering them on. So happy that this event was on, and now it's coming to a close. We're just about to crown some people out.
Yeah, it's great right now. We're going to be crowning some women longboard champions here. There's on your screen there's Steph Whiteman, Lauren Akins, Kate Prothero, and again a little bit of a swag bag there. Pretty good turnout from them. There's pretty good surfing from them all contest long. You know, as I said before, you know, there's a reason why those girls make it to the finals. They are turned on and surfing at a pretty high level, and you know, that's the reason why they got to the final, and they did not disappoint. This longboard final was a pretty awesome final to watch.
No, they're good friends in the water, good friends out of the water, super smiley, happy what they did. You know, what would we be in this event without good surfers like them? So
yeah, exactly. And this is the beauty of this contest, you know, all the love and support that each and every competitor and each and every friend and sponsor shows to put on a perfect event on for these girls. And it's pretty unbelievable, you know, having the 7th annual Queen of the Peak. It doesn't really ever seem to disappoint.
no, it sure doesn't. And I know you guys can't see on the screen right now, but the waves, it seems like they've just turned off. You know, just goes to show how amazing our head judge and bit of a commissioner there, Shannon Brown, just knowing when to play and when not to, and we dialed it in perfect. So the waves have really chilled out here, and here we go, crowning one of the surfers here, good lady, getting the Princess of the Peaks up there, very happy. They deserve every little moment they can possibly get up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome surfing from Aqua Brewwaller and, you know, Snow Olin there on your far right, then Jasmine Porter and Chloe Platinius. Definitely, or was it, sorry, Kiana Haas.
Kiana Haas, you're right.
Yeah, some remarkable surfing from these young surfers. It's pretty amazing to watch. The future is definitely very bright for female surfers. Definitely putting on a bit of a clinic there with Sanoa Olin, your winner and Princess champion. Pretty awesome to see her surf at such a high level day in and day out. And
you guys are fantastic representatives for this contest. Can't wait to see you guys surf next year. In 4th place,
yeah, it's pretty awesome to see.
Aqua Brewwaller.
Yeah, there's 3rd place, Aqua Brewwaller. You know, coming from a pretty heavy family, the Brewwaller clan. She's probably pretty pumped on her result there.
Absolutely, you know, being out in the water, if the whole family's out, You know, it's sweet together. I can't wait to have a family of my own to do that, but they are a force to be reckoned with when they're out there.
And there's our champion there, Princess of the Peak champion, Sanoa Olin. You know, it really came out with a bang today in finals day, and really wanting to kind of keep that Princess of the Peak crown in the family. You know, last year Matea winning the Princess of the Peak, and now her younger sister Sanoa. It's got to be a pretty awesome feeling for the Olin family.
Oh yeah, they have to be happy there. You know, you look at her and she doesn't look that young, but she is only like 10 or 11 years old. Going up against competition who's a couple years older than her. Her sister's only 13, so.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty nerve-wracking, you know, and now we're going to be crowning some women's longboard champions. I mean, you see just walking on your screen there, surfer in red there, that's Matea Olin, your 2016 longboard champ. I mean, she deserved every little bit of this award, you know, constantly surfing at such a high level and never really slowing down. And it just goes to show that's why she's your champ today.
Oh yeah, she makes longboarding look way too easy. You know, she's running up, she's running down, she's stomping on that tail, making the board rip around. She is a great surfer, and on a longboard, on a shortboard, she's a force to be reckoned with. We said it time and time again, and you know, she beat women. You know, full-grown women riding boards for a lot longer. You know, I'd say they've definitely been surfing before she's even been born. So for her to come up and win this event not out of nowhere by any means, but definitely first time for her.
Yeah, definitely look at all the love and support there. There's Steph Whiteman and Kate Puthrow. You know, there was a pretty tight heat. The difference between those two was about .23, I believe. You know, Steph Whiteman just coming up a little bit short, and then you know, Kate Puthrow, never a stranger to get to the finals in the longboard event.
No, not at all. Here they are holding a nice crisp can of Tofino Lager to go on with their swag bag. Katie Puthrow taking away the second place.
Such a gem, Kate Puthrow. She's always smiling, always having fun, always a good time. And yeah, it's super awesome to see her. You know, she played some pretty good result here. I mean, Matea has been ripping lately, and she's coming off a pretty good high coming back from Portugal.
Yeah, and that's where I think that little bit of extra time in Portugal really got her to the top level here. Just knowing what to do, when to do it, and when not to do certain maneuvers.
Yeah, exactly. And that is your 2016 Queen of the Peak Women's Longboard Champion, 13 years old, Matea Olin. I mean, got a pretty bright future ahead of this young lady.
Yeah, it's wow, I feel like I'm almost speechless. Like, I can't imagine where she'll be. I don't imagine it's out of the question to think that she will be on the world tour at some point in her life.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go, a little final celebratory drop knee slam. KDP coming up big, and you know, the boys at the Tofino Brewery, always for the boys and for the girls over there. Those guys have kept this town and this whole coast very hydrated since they've opened, and they
sure
have not slowing down. They keep pumping out some of the most quality beer that this West Coast has ever seen, and you know, the whole vibe that goes in to that brewery and all the staff that is behind it it's unbelievable. And you know, if you guys are ever visiting Tofino, make sure you stop by Tofino Brewery and give everyone a high five, especially the owners, Dave, Chris, Brian, and Heidi, and all the other people that make that brewery a success. It's a pretty unreal spot to go hang out in.
No, you know, you said it. You nailed the hammer right on the head there, big guy. It is the best brewery I've ever been in, with the nicest staff. You know, we're just gonna move on right into. You know, we don't like to fill in a full of fluff at the end. We want to let you know, get you in, get you out. So, shortboarding, here are our finalists. They did a great little show for us.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable by all surfers. You know, all the girls out there. You know, surfer in white there, Hannah Scott, your defending champion. Unfortunately, just placing in third place. She's going to be a little disappointed with her result, but you know, it's some quality surfing from Hannah all contest long, and she definitely deserved her spot in the final. and their surfer in blue, Amelia O'Connor, surfing very well. You know, this is definitely a pretty good result for her. I believe this is probably her first final that she's ever been in, so a big congratulations to Amelia O'Connor.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine what it's like to be in your first final of it's not a cakewalk for her. She had to work really hard, and you know, she deserved to be in that spot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they see the big smile on her face. You know, she's still winning. I believe in fourth place, you win a 45-minute massage at the Wickenham Inn. So, you know, everyone that made the final today is a winner, and she must be pretty stoked. You know, that's a pretty good achievement to make it to the final, and I mean, it's a pretty big hill to climb. You know, going up against, you know, the likes of Hannah Scott, I mean, Matea Olin, and, you know, Sarah Taylor. It's a pretty heavy final, but yeah, great job from everybody.
Here we go.
You're taking home $1,000.
Yeah, there's
$1,000.
You know, $1,000. 13 years old. I mean, I don't think my bank account reached $1,000 till I was about 15 or 16.
No, I do not know when I was 13 years old, if someone handed me a $1,000 check, what my mind would be going bonkers. That's a lot of 5-cent candies.
Yeah, you know, it's no big deal. And there is your 2016 the Queen of the Peak Women's Surfing Champion Shortboard Division, Sarah Taylor, all the way from California. I mean, showing some pretty quality surfing all contests long, and you saw in the final that she definitely did not disappoint.
And there's the shower, the champagne shower that everyone likes to give the winner. As it's kind of nice when you're in a wetsuit, cool you down. $2,000 for Sarah Taylor and Queen of the Peak.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You know, there's a reason why she is the champion. She was surfing at a pretty high level, you know, and that's why she did win, and you know, kind of separated herself from the crowd. And yeah, she just came up big today. You know, found those waves that she needed. Oh God! Found those waves that she needed to get, and put some big scores on the board. And yeah, she's going to be pretty stoked going back to California with that $2,000. Unfortunately, it's $2,000 Canadian.
That's right, not
Translates
American.
about probably $1,700 American, but hey. No big deal.
No big deal. Well, she's going to be in Canada for a little bit longer, so, you know, maybe she can, maybe she'll spend it all tonight. Who knows? Maybe she's going to go a little bit free. Find out tonight. Come to this amazing after show wrap-up party at the Legion. It starts at 9. Odalit, the best party throwers on the West Coast, is going to be, you know, out there helping us out, getting it live with DJ Surgeon.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty awesome event here. You know, an awesome way to close out a pretty awesome weekend with this after party at the Tofino Legion. You know, make sure you tell your friends and family and whoever else wants to come show some support to all the girls down that competed this weekend, and also everybody that helped out this year. All of our sponsors.
Yes, thank you, sponsors.
What do we got here? Surf Sister Shelter, Tofino Brewery, Long Beach Surf Shop, Wicked and Shim, Pacific Sands, Tofino Pharmacy, Pacific Rim Chiropractor, Mascon, Tofino
Hostels International,
Nixon, Von Zipper. Of course, this whole contest presented by Billabong.
Wildside Grill.
Bangers Tub, Wildside Grill, keeping everyone fed all weekend long. I mean, if you guys haven't eaten at Wildside, Alan, how good is it?
Well, we've been eating it for the last 3 days, and I could go on another 4 more weeks eating it every single day. It is delicious. They have everything they have there is somewhat local as it can be, caught from the ocean or harvested in another way. And, always made with a little bit of love. Pretty
awesome restaurant there. So believe everything is going to be coming to a close here down at the beach. This is a pretty awesome event here this year. You know, the weather held out. You know, the waves unfortunately got a little small near the end there, but they still delivered even when it was when it counted there during the finals.
Absolutely, and we gotta thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with us for the last 3 days.
There's our boy Nate.
It was
to see you, buddy. And yeah, how do you want to do this? You know,
well, I just want to say,
miss you, man. I'm
going to miss you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last 3 days, showing me the ropes of how it is to talk on such a premier kind of event like this. It's